Hey everyone, good evening. It is now about to be the second week of September 2025, and I think this might be the driest year we have ever had since I've been living here, but not the hottest. So none of the trees are showing signs of dying, turning brown. Everything's beautifully green, but it is now 11 at night. None of the grass. I can walk through my yard. There's no dew anywhere. I almost don't even have to cut my grass. It barely grew. I've been gone a month. Just came back, and this is a first. We had a pretty bad drought back in 2021, but never once have I seen my stream dry up. The stream is completely empty. Now right there, you can clearly see the water table. There's a puddle right there. So that means it's probably flowing beneath the rocks. But there's no surface flow. I even put this dam in years ago and decided to leave it here because it kept a pool of water here even during drought. It's not doing anything at the moment. There's a little bit of water. Look at that. Got some water skimmer friends in there. I love those guys because they will kill mosquitoes. Even if they're not hungry, they'll just kill them. There's a water beetle in there. There's a couple more puddles back here. But that's quite sad. I've never seen the stream not flowing. It's the driest I've ever seen it. Look at the overflow. Look at all those rust bubbles. That kind of looks cool. Originally, I built this dam out of cinder blocks, so it would back up a little bit of water where I could throw a power head in here and actually use the water. Back when my house was an abandoned building, I was getting all my water out of this creek because it's crystal clear. It's just spring water. You walk upstream a couple 100 feet, it dissipates. You can't even, there's no stream bed up there. It just comes out of the mountain. But I've never seen it not flowing. Back in 2021, it got down to just a drip. But this dam held up all that water. I remember even releasing the spillway. Took over an hour to fill back up. It was flowing so little. Now there's nothing. Not one bit. But then, after I fixed my house, the cinder block dam was crumbling, so I just threw some rocks here with extra concrete. And it kept a nice pool there for the frogs and everyone. Honestly, not many frogs used it because it was spring water and freezing cold. But I'm going to show you some other cool things I've noticed throughout this drought. And I wonder if I should go film any of the local rivers while it's still drought. Why am I filming in the middle of the night? Because we might actually get a little rain tonight, and I don't want it to start rising again, my little stream, before I get to film it. But honestly, it's only a 30% chance that it will rain tonight. Then we got a couple dry days, then it's 98% rain. But 98% rain doesn't mean it's going to pour all day. There's a 98% chance that it will rain something at some point during that day. Now, whether that's a sprinkle for 20 minutes or a major downpour all day, I have really no idea. I didn't even look into it, honestly. I've only been home for about an hour. But some developments. This is a sedum plant. It's very drought tolerant. It's flowering. It's doing marvelous. All the ponds are only half full because it has been so dry. Oh my gosh, look at the teeny tadpoles. I think those are tree frogs. Those are so small. That is so cute. I'm going to try to relocate all them to the big pond. No, I'll relocate them all to my second biggest pond because this is going to freeze solid before they become frogs and they're all going to die. If I go ahead and put them in the big pond, the fish are going to eat them. Those are absolutely tiny. Those are spring peeper tadpoles. We've never had those before. That is so interesting. There are actually a couple dozen of them. And if I look carefully, I bet there's a few hundred. We also have, it's orb weaver season. I love the fall. I love watching orb weavers on my security lights go after bugs all day long. This pool also is a bit low. We'll top these off tomorrow. But the water is crystal clear. Now this one has some mosquito larvae. We gotta throw a mosquito dunk in there. A mosquito dunk is a biological weapon against them. You throw it in there and it releases bacteria that's only dangerous to mosquitoes. According to the company, it doesn't even kill water skimmers, which are in the same family. But let's see what else is going on in the yard. Everything's green. The grass didn't even burn. I don't think it's been very hot here. I just think there's been no rain. There's no dew anywhere. That's very unusual. I got a couple stalks of corn randomly growing in my driveway. That's because I throw corn down for the deer and turkeys. Got a couple stalks. Who wants to see a video of me trying to eat this? This is not human corn. This is probably cattle feed. It's bland and usually harder kernels, but you can eat it. We're gonna give it a try. I'm gonna try cooking that up. Accidental corn in the driveway. I did notice this before I left, but it was so small I didn't think it would actually grow cobs. If I walk over here a little ways, there's another stalk with a cob that's just starting. That's what that bulge is. There's gonna be a couple cobs in there. This is my most lush part of the lawn. It is dry. There's no dew in the grass. I don't remember a time when there's been no dew in the grass living this far north. Usually it's wet and cool. Very unusual. Now this pond here, the grass is starting to turn. But what grass doesn't turn when it gets that long? Ooh, we got a very fat frog in there. It's been eating well. I'm assuming we'll see a lot of frogs at the big pond because there's no water. They're all coming over here. And yep, my solar waterfall's been working. See how it's still slimy in there? I gotta do some trimming. The solar panel's there. It's got the teeniest little pump just to run water slowly through that moss. I planted moss in that waterfall. It's mostly grass. I gotta do some weeding, but that helps purify the water. Water's pretty good looking. And look at the cattails. They were taken over. I actually killed most of the cattails in here. I just threw a few back. It'll take over again. They grow fast. Now I'm walking over to my big pond. Water level is perfect. It's a bit dirty, but I can do something about that. I'm gonna turn on the hose in the basement, put it in my sump pump pit, and the water will come out here. I'll let that run for like 12 hours. It'll circulate the water. It'll clear it up a little bit. Or maybe the frogs like it swampy. This is absolutely the best year ever for my lily pads. Look at that. We even have some water lilies that are about to bloom. And look at those frogs. They're so beautiful. I'm actually getting a few still pictures right now. Beautiful. So I bought those from the Home Depot like 4 years ago. Threw them in here. There was one measly lily pad year one. Year two, I thought they had died. Didn't survive the winter. Didn't get enough energy the prior year. But randomly, they popped up in September. Just a few of them. And I was like, oh no, it's so late. It's not going to get enough energy. It'll certainly die this winter. Next year, it came up. Had a few. This year, oh wow, it took off. This is the first year of it flowering. I'm so happy. I'm going to look around the edges, see if there's any frogs now. There's actually a lot less frogs than I thought there would be. I guess because it's been so dry, the animals are going after them all, eating them. This is the fewest frogs I've ever had. Wow, my petunias did really, really good, even though no one's been around to deadhead them. They look beautiful. When you deadhead a flower, you remove the dead part, and it will grow another one. If you don't remove it, it just grows seeds. You see, there's a lot of seeds I could pick for next year. Chives are doing good, but yet no one's been here to water them. Look at that. These were left full in case someone came over, they'd be able to water them. They dried up halfway. These were full a month ago. But I do 50-50 cow manure and peat moss. You don't have to water your pots for like a good month, and they're still wet in there. Peat moss contains so much water, but there's no berries. During drought, raspberry plants don't produce berries. They don't produce anything because they're conserving energy. And as a result, the bears are going to be very hungry. Oh my gosh, I love these guys. We have a gigantic garden spider. Look at that. I love those guys. I used to love watching them catch things in their web. That is a big, big one. I love seeing that. We'll leave that guy alone. It's amazing coming back after a month. The grass barely grew. I barely have to do any trimming on my trails. That's a good thing. But it is sad that it hasn't been raining. But on the bright side, nothing's dead. It clearly hasn't been severely hot, at least not prolonged. Right here's my electric fence transformer. It's still operating. Barely anything grew near the electric lines. Usually I'm constantly putting vinegar here. Nothing appears to be touching the electric lines. Look inside here. This does have a sprinkler on a timer. It runs every day. I hope. Usually you'd see puddles in here. Looks pretty dry. Hopefully it's been running. But because I've been gone a month. Look at this. The lettuce all died. I just have a few stalks that bolted. That means they're trying to produce seeds. We have a tomato plant. I never even planted that one, but it's got a few on it. Look. Back here, these are carrots. These are carrot flowers. They'll produce seeds. But I got some weeding to do. I got to clean this up so I can grow a good garden next year. In the back there, my asparagus is doing good. This year I learned a valuable lesson. I cut some of it and tried to eat it while it was tall like this. You have to eat the sprouts, I learned. I never tried eating it before. Next year, I'll have a bunch of it in the spring. We'll cook that up. I got some onions here I can dig up. Ooh, I got more cherry tomatoes. Some of them are struggling in here. Surprised to see a lot of my tomatoes struggling. But look, I'm still gonna have hundreds of cherry tomatoes. That's good. Some of them have holes, and I see a stink bug right there. I might want to spray in here. Oh, nope, there's puddles in here. The sprinkler's definitely been running. I guess it was just a sunny day and everything dried up. Oh no, my big beef tomatoes. They're all destroyed. I bet if I look around, I could find some tomato hornworms. This is actually the first year I didn't spray the garden. I usually spray with 7 chemical. Well, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Spray it with 7 chemical, and that'll protect everything the rest of the season because it's so late. We probably only have another month left of growing season before the frost kills everything. Right over here, I planted lots of sunflowers. These are supposed to be the ones that get like 12 feet tall. They're only as big as my waist. There's a lot of buds. There's gonna be flowers. But you know what's unusual? I planted 2 rows. They didn't do very good. But one that accidentally got planted over here is as tall as me, and it looks like it's gonna have a pretty nice flower in a couple weeks. What? I didn't even plant it over in this area. But yet it did better than any of the other ones I deliberately planted. Well, they'll still be beautiful even though they're small, but these are the breed that's supposed to get like 12 feet tall. Wow, it looks like I haven't even been gone. The grass didn't even grow. If this was a normal year, this would have been like a week's worth, not over a month. We're gonna walk on my trail, see if anything's changed. Tomorrow, I gotta do some mowing. It's gonna be way easier than I anticipated it being. So I was gone for about a month to film some videos up north. Lots of abandoned buildings and stuff. Up into Alaska and along the way. Ooh, here's a pricker bush I gotta trim. There's a few things I gotta trim, but it's very minimal. So those videos I'll slowly start rolling out soon, but it's gonna take me weeks just to go through them. And I'll try to get all that stuff posted over the next couple of months while I sneak it in, doing other stuff. Oh, this whole area smells like raspberries. I bet there are some rotting somewhere. Rotting right off the plant. Videos coming soon. I gotta check all my trail cameras, see who's been out and about. Amazingly, there is a little bit of water in there, despite everything appearing to be so dry and crunchy. This one didn't drop down very much, and wow, that water's clean. Oh wow, there's a lot of water beetles in there. That's awesome. They're carnivorous. That's probably why there's no mosquito larvae. I did put mosquito dunks in here, but that was months ago. And look at that moss ball. That's beautiful. That was a peach tree I planted like 4 years ago, and it didn't survive. And this tree made its way to the ground. That was stuck up there for years. It finally made its way down. it damaged my sign. I'm gonna have to cut that branch. I can bend that sign back and just retie it. That's a lot of dry firewood, but I wouldn't dare have a fire until we get a few rainy days. Look at that, there's some nice sap coming out of there. Very dry and crunchy looking out here, but very little trimming to do. Is anyone interested in seeing videos? I gotta do maintenance on power equipment and do yearly tests on things like generators that we don't use, just to make sure they're running in case of emergency. I know people will probably like to see the big diesel generator start. We'll run that for like a half an hour just to do it. We did its oil change last year, and we did a video with all the space heaters at the truck camp. That's pretty much the only reason I bought that thing, just to make a couple crazy videos with it. And now we got a portable, massive backup generator in case the power ever went out. That thing was really cheap online. That's why I had to get it. But this year I'm not going to give it an oil change. I'm not going to really do any service on it. I'll just maybe grease up some of the moving parts, let it run a little bit. But it's only got about 20 hours since the last oil change. And a machine like that we barely use, I'll just keep it running. Machines like that, I'll do an oil change every other year because they're not really being used. Even machines I don't even use, like my broken snowblower, I'll still start that thing up every other year, give it an oil change, just because I want to make sure it's running in case someday I have the motivation to fix it. But I got to do a lot of maintenance over the next few days. It'll be fun. Just wanted to show how dry everything is. If it's still dry, maybe I'll get some daytime footage for everyone. But lots of interesting videos I have coming soon of camping way up north, showing some things up there. But honestly, northern Canada and Alaska they're very, very beautiful, the scenery, but they don't have as many abandoned things because they've just never been populated. The United States has so many abandoned things. Canada, it's very difficult to actually find things that are abandoned up there because the population has just never been very high in those areas we were driving through. The roads were in pretty good shape. There was some days that were over 100 degrees Fahrenheit in BC. Then there was some days up in Yukon and Alaska. It almost hit the freezing mark in the middle of summer. It's pretty interesting. But thank you for watching this vlog, everyone. I'm very, very tired. Just got home tonight after a 14-hour drive. And I also learned, yeah, BC got some bad hills. Alaska got some bad hills. But the biggest one I ever saw was 9% grade. On my way home, I decided not to go through Quebec. I avoided it. I learned that Vermont has bigger hills than I ever found all over Canada. I'm sure Canada's got bigger ones. I've just never taken them. But I found a 14% grade on one of the main roads in Vermont. I never really looked at the grade signs too much until this trip. But that was fun. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day. We'll get these things uploaded soon. I'll have more videos of doing my surveying work at the logging company, but it's just been so dry. No beaver videos are available, so I've been promising everyone if I had the money, I'd do a video tour western again. And instead of going to the same spots, we did Canada this time. We went across there. If these videos do good, maybe we'll try exploring the Southwest. Never been there before. I've been to parts of it, but not widespread. Never went down a lot of the southern states, or places I still have never gone to before. And maybe we'll try going to eastern Canada. I've never been to those provinces like New Brunswick or any of those ones before either. Lots of fun places to explore. We'll see how everyone likes these exploring videos, and if we can, we'll make some more of them. Thanks for sticking around, and thank you for your support, everyone. Have a great night.